We made it to the Lexington Cemetery to find the grave of one of the greatest character actors who ever lived. Let's go see if we can find him.
Hey, Vern, looks like you've been to one of them big-time supermarkets. What'd that set you back, huh? You should have talked to Ernest first, know what I mean?
We're here in section C1 of the Lexington Cemetery, here in Lexington, Kentucky. And we're here to find the grave of a man that meant a lot to me as a kid, Jim Varney, who co-created Ernest P. Worrell with director John Cherry. Now, Jim Varney's character Ernest was speaking to the camera as if he was talking to an off-camera buddy. His catchphrase, "Know what I mean, Vern?" became instantly popular, and his commercials began to be used to sell dairy products around the South.
Morning, Vern. What y'all having for breakfast, huh? Brahms orange juice. Brahms 100% pure orange juice. Oh, natural, know what I mean? Hit me another little lick out of that jug. Vern, my hand, Vern. My hand.
And later in a television series, "Hey Vern, it's Ernest."
Hey, Vern! Hey, Vern! Hey, Vern, it's me. I'm on TV.
And of course, you cannot forget these iconic films he was in. Ernest Goes to Camp, Ernest Scared Stupid, Ernest Saves Christmas. Now, these movies weren't Academy Award winning movies, but to me as a kid, they meant a heck of a lot. Jim Varney was born in Lexington, Kentucky. And as a young child, Varney had an incredible ability to do imitations of cartoon characters. His mother, realizing her child had a special talent, put him in acting classes, and he was heavily involved in theater in high school and won some acting contests. He was performing professionally on stage by the time he was 17, including Shakespeare in Virginia and performances at the Opryland in Nashville. He was a cast member on the 1976 show Johnny Cash and Friends and worked in some other short-lived television shows. In 1980, Varney came along with co-creator John Cherry and started using the character Ernest in commercials. He was basically a confident man who thought he knew everything, but actually he knew nothing. Love these bridges they got here at the Lexington Cemetery. One time Ernest came to Disneyland, and the president of Disneyland noticed that Ernest got more applause when he walked in than Mickey Mouse himself.
Welcome as his entourage makes its way down Main Street. It's absolute chaos here as all his fans have come out to wish him well.
So he signed him to a movie deal right there on the spot. And here's his grave right here. Now, unfortunately, Varney was a heavy smoker and contracted lung cancer at the young age of 50 back in 2000, February 10th, 2000. I love the comedy and tragedy masks for Jim Varney, aka Ernest P. Worrell, from all those classic movies. Ah, this one makes me so sad. He was just starting to break out of this Ernest shell. He was Jed Clampett in the Beverly Hillbillies movie. And of course, he was the iconic voice for Slinky the dog in Toy Story.
I knew you'd come back, Woody. Woody? Woody?
Who knew where his career could have gone if he wouldn't have passed on so young? I can also vividly remember that when I was a kid, I would like run around crazy on sugar, watching cartoons. I couldn't focus on anything. But I remember the first two movies where I could watch from the beginning to the end, and the first one was The Wizard of Oz, and the second one was Ernest Goes to Camp. I was mesmerized by it. Thanks, Jim. Look at how the sun is just shining down on Jim's grave, and everything else is just darkness. But Ernest P. Worrell still has the sun shining down upon him. Now, like I do with all the famous graves I go to, I want to leave a few mementos for Jim, for Ernest. I figured I would leave this Slinky Dog toy, since he was the incredible voice for part 1 and 2 Toy Story. And of course, you cannot forget these iconic films he was in. Ernest Goes to Camp, Ernest Scared Stupid, Ernest Goes to Jail, all classic films. I'm also gonna leave my YouTube magnet. If you come to visit Jim, feel free to take my magnet, but leave the DVD and the Slinky Dog as a gift for Jim Varney. Ernest P. Worrell. Such a great character actor. We miss you, Jim. All right, that's gonna do it here from the Lexington Cemetery in Lexington, Kentucky. I just want to say until we meet again, thanks for watching, and I'll see you later. Ernest! I mean Jim. Thanks.
Gee, I'm glad it's rain. There's always something to be thankful for. I'm awfully glad it's rain, 'cause no one sees your teardrops when it pours. And no one knows the thunder is your heartbreak in disguise. They think the rainy nights will put that sad